Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to the show that takes you from the week and delivers you safely, warmly, and excitedly into the weekend. It is, of course, the big weekend kickoff with Away Day Beers, Talking Town's press conference reaction show. I'm the host of the Gov. Looking forward to getting your comments in the live chat. I can see many people already getting busy in there, and looking forward to hearing the thoughts of my two cohorts this evening. Before we go any further, we, of course, must bring your attention to a fantastic event happening tomorrow at the Baths venue, Civic Drive. If you watched the show on Wednesday, you'd have seen it mentioned. I did mention it 3 times, and I'll probably mention it 3 or 4 more times this evening. So, you know, no excuses. Get yourselves down there. The Baths venue, Civic Drive, Away Day Beers Beer Company, pre-game Marcus Stewart fundraiser. 3 beers on the screen, a Bundeslager, an IP 118, and a Marcus Brewitt. It starts at 10:30 a.m., goes until kickoff, 3 p.m. So you can stay there until, 10 to 3, 5 to 3, and then sprint yourselves down from, I think it's the roundabout where Wolsey is. I think from memory, that's where Civic Drive is. It's been a while since I've been on Civic Drive, but I'll hopefully be there tomorrow. I think the Cruncher is going to be there at some point as well. So if you want to meet the Cruncher, if you want to buy him a beer or get a beer bought by him, that's me saying that. That's not him, by the way. Then, the Baths venue, Civic Drive, tomorrow, 10:30 to 3. Get yourself down there. Right, we'll mention that a couple of more times so we all know where to be. If you can't be there, 1:30, Sir Ralph Ramsey will be there. 2 p.m. we go live with our pre-game Matchday live show. Good evening, Colin Plum. You have just seen Andy Barrell. He is in the area. I hope Andy is well. Hope you are well, Colin. Welcome in Matt Stannard, Richard Chandler, Mark Rattle. Should be good. And good to see the owners back. Yes, of course, Mr. Detmer and Johnson, both in the IP1. IP1, I hear you say. IP 118 tomorrow, Civic Drive, the Baths venue, Marcus Stewart fundraiser. Look at that. See, that's a seamless, wasn't it? That was a seamless little transition there. Did you see that? Did you see that? So good. You almost missed it. Stephen Fuchs, welcome in. Right. Before we go any further, you can become a Talking Town Fist Stander. How? I hear you asking at home by hitting the join button on YouTube or going to Ko-Fi and becoming and signing yourself up for $4.99 a month. Talking Town Fifth Stander. Got a great comment here from Matt Stannard. What do people think of the new Sir Bobby Robson lower turnstiles? Well, luckily for you, Matt, I have a man of the people, the self-proclaimed people's champion, funnily enough, also called Matt, who can tell you what he thinks. The media mogul.
We've just lost the teenagers. It's absolutely embarrassing.
Matt Phillips. The man of the people, the common people's champion. Here he is.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
Good, thanks. You all right?
I'm very well. Yes, very well. Looking forward to hear what you want to say about this new turnstile, the SB Sir Bobby Robson lower. What are your thoughts, Matt?
I'll tell you what I told you in the week. I don't bloody care. It's a bloody turnstile.
Well, yes, that was your thoughts, and I'm glad you've stuck to those guns. I care deeply. I care for my fellow town fan and their experience on match days.
Just getting that guy. See, you're morphing back into Simon Clegg world here. We've painted the turn. Okay, don't worry about that. Just worry about what's going on the pitch. That's where we're at now. Don't worry about.
I can't work out why they've done it though. I can't. Like, they're saying it's for ease, but if nobody asked you to ease the problem, which problem are you trying to ease?
Well, judging from what I've heard, is it's a bit lively in there before the game, so I can only presume on police advice or whatever that they've decided to simmer it down a bit with new entrances. Is that right?
Possibly. I don't know. I don't know. Could be a safety issue. Masterna says to stop upper tier people sitting in the lower. But isn't that what stewards are for? Like, am I being old, showing my age there, where stewards used to be people you'd go to and say, "Excuse me, mate, that bloke's in my seat."
Do you have a high level of stewarding in the Cobalt?
We've got one bloke in a fluorescent jacket. I mean, you only need one, Matt, to be fair. Excuse me, mate. Oh yeah, what
they're
can I do to help you?
Now, I think they're good. Well, we've known them for like 20 plus years, so it's like the same people, isn't it? But I don't know. It's the hub of the fan base apparently
it's the heartbeat of the football club. That stand.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, it is. And I can see why many are upset. You're going to miss out on friends that are upstairs because there's no bar around Portman Road. Like, you've got this whole Burley's bar that's not open, I think, to the public. So there's no actual bar around Portman Road. other than the fan zone, which is a vast openness of nothingness. That when it goes to January, the last place I want to be in sub-zero temperatures, drinking a cold pint of piss,
yeah.
is the fan zone. I'm
No,
going to be honest.
no.
Although I don't think the North stand, so I won't be there either. But the point still stands. I'm taking this battle up for the fellow fan.
You're on here. What are you saying? There should be a supporters bar somewhere around the ground. Is what you're saying?
Well, it's a great opportunity for somebody to have a pop-up one, as Carl Brooks says, away they be a pop-up bar. You know,
you'd still be out in the open though, wouldn't you?
I'm also not keen on the idea of a fan zone being a place for families and then rowdy young adults who have got 8 Jaeger bombs inside them by 12:30 sharing the same space. Like, just call me old, I guess, but I'm like,
meeting the world, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, this is football's fault, you see, because they've tried to promote football to families, but you've still got that lively element that want to have a bit of a drink and get involved in things. Do you know what I mean? I mean, where were the people with the 8 Jaeger bombs inside them at Bracknell?
Well, this is it. Well,
evening? I thought just a load of coach of sightseers had got off in Bracknell. So it was a football match.
I know you did
leaning on
that.
the old ad boards. Where was
you
the
did
fire,
say.
man? But there we go. That's just
It's Bracknell, Matt. It was hardly, Colchester away. Jason Clayton, getting used to an average 25,000 home fans every game. Fans to get used.
Where were these people at Barrow at home? Where were you?
I get things like I get what Jason's saying. It's not all in the same stand, is it? So it's
it's true.
I'm just
know where all these people were previous, but there you go.
Where were you
when we were?
Shit, yeah. To be fair, 15 minutes to get a drink is not for everyone before or after the game. It's best for drinking. Hey, you're talking to somebody who thinks buying a bottle of water at the cobble stand is far too extortionate. So I'm not upset about people buying or not buying drinks. I'm just
£2.50.
Oh, it's a rip-off, mate.
It's a bit of a rip-off because I bought the same. You remember when I parked miles away for the Pompey game? I bought the same bottle of water in one of them little corner shops for about 90p.
Bargain, absolute bargain. Right, it's 8:40. It's 8:40. Get the beers. Awaydaysbeer.com. Proud to partner with Talking Town. I pressed the wrong button. ITFC Legends Pack. Make your weekend flow from $14.99. The weekend is officially underway, and tomorrow you can get even happier with Away Days pre-game Marcus Stewart fundraiser at the Baths venue, Civic Drive, 10:30 to 3 p.m. The IP1A Bundeslager. You like that one, Matthew?
That is, and I'm hearing that's on tap. Is that correct? That is a great beer.
Yes,
that is a great beer, everybody. Now, I wish Josh did a packet of that, like the box of that, of just sold with that.
Oh, well, Christmas round the corner. That would be a great little, particularly for you.
Yes, it would be. Yes.
Ultras. And the Marcus Brewitt, that is at the Bath Drive. It is.
The mittens, the gloves there. Great times.
There's also a case. Another beer that he's going to be putting on. Yeah, cheers. The Butcher's Bandage is also an option tomorrow. So non-ale fans, you have 3 keg beers to choose from, and then of course the Butcher's Bandage.
Nice. It's gonna be a great event. That it's gonna be great. Rich is gonna be there.
Yeah, it really is. It's gonna be a great event. Talking of great events, before we begin, Richard Moss, who finally sorted out his computer issues, we have got the Prediction League wide open for you this week. Link now in the chat. A number of fixtures. I haven't actually looked at it myself, to be fair, yet. That Matt Stannard has put together for you to try and guess as many as you can. You've got obviously Town, Cheltenham, Norwich, Middlesbrough, Cambridge, Bolton, Crewe, Colchester, and Trimley Red Devils versus Old Newton Town.
Newton Town. Where is that?
Yeah. Old Newton United. Sorry. No, sorry.
Old Newton United. Now I know who you're talking about. I don't.
Yeah. No. Well, if you wanted to get a little bit of homework underway, Matt, go to Trinity Red Devils' YouTube page. Link is within our own page, and you can see their last game. They lost 3-0. They had 2 men sent off. The Matchday highlight package is there for you to look over. You got previous games. Go and do a bit of history, a bit of homework. Try and find out what you need to know about.
They're using one of these remote cameras to film it, are they?
Yeah, VEO, I think.
Yeah. A lot of clubs have been using that, haven't they? It's good.
It's all right, actually. It's not too bad. Yeah. And then I do Henley, where someone's dulcet tones go over the top of it.
Right, yeah, I want to do that, Kaveh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's Jimmy Brown, isn't it? He's a con they couldn't keep down.
Yeah.
What a line. Love that line. Norman Greenwood, when they're not done a cobble stand, a new bar can be part of the new stand. Oh, Norman.
Oh,
Norman.
It's on the wind up now.
You're not going to get to me, Norman. I'm too happy this evening. Anyway, right. Let's bring it down a notch or two. The Cruncher. Richard Moss.
You're talking utter fucking.
Good afternoon, good evening, sir. How are you?
It's working now. Look at this.
I'm working. I'm on. I've
He's
reset
on.
my
There he goes.
password. It locked me out. I don't know why, Gov.
He locked himself out, everybody, of his own computer.
Anyway, as well as all them lovely beers, they've got bottles of Star Spangled Tractor tomorrow as well.
So there's no excuse to not have a positive atmosphere at the ground tomorrow. None whatsoever. You can get fueled by away day beers at the Civic.
I'll tell you what, if you're in there from 10:30 till about 2:45, you're going to be absolutely steaming, aren't you?
You ain't making no game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, those days of me doing that are long gone and being able to make a game of football.
Well, you missed a plane once, didn't you, because you were doing that?
Yes, it is. That's true. Yes, that is very true.
I knew someone who missed Poland versus England, flying over for the Poland-England game, Euro qualifier, whatever it was. They all got hammered up on the Jaegers and all the thing. Fell asleep in the bar, missed the match.
Well, it's funny because I missed the plane and also missed the match, but we still had a great weekend in Dusseldorf, so it was all good. It was all good.
You still went.
Yeah, of course we did. Of course we
You
did.
wouldn't go now. You wouldn't go now, would you? If you'd missed it, you'd go, I'm going home.
Well, we had
Don't
a
you
race
think,
across Europe to get there, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. We
Why did you
got
miss it
there.
anyway? Why did
We
you
got
miss
there as
it?
Britt Pittman scored a goal.
Beer, this is Bonzo.
Bonzo, look at that.
Yeah,
Looks like you're on
Bonzo's
safari, says Lee.
Why did you miss it though? Why did you miss the flight in that? Because you presumably you was in the airport. So
We
how
were.
can you therefore miss the flight?
Okay, so we're at the airport. We're there mega early as always. Where do you head? To the bar. We're getting the beers in. It comes up that gates open, and of course you always hear gate last call for. So we're like, don't worry, they'll say last call. We'll get.
This is where you made an error, I think. You've misinterpreted the last call.
It was. There was always one friend. The one friend that ended up driving was the one that was late, hadn't drunk a single thing. We were like, we'll wait for them. We'll just have another beer while we wait for them. They arrived. We finished the beers in quick, pronto fashion. Still plenty of time. Got down there. Plane was on the tarmac, but the gate had closed. And she's like, plane's left. What do you mean plane's left? It's literally sat right behind your shoulder. I can see the town fans.
Yeah.
Plane's
See,
left.
now Rich wouldn't have allowed this. As soon as the gate was open, you'd be there, wouldn't you, Rich? That's what I'm thinking. You're on.
Yeah, you can't be.
There you go.
You can't
All's
be. Colin
well that
would have been
ends
there about
well.
3 hours early, wouldn't he? He'd have been waiting at the gate.
Well, I wouldn't mind, but we were there 3 hours early.
Well, there you go.
Well, I certainly was anyway. I know I was.
You're friendly, weren't you? It was only a friendly.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Really
But
bad,
thankfully, thankfully, the friend that was late could then pick up the mantle and take us to Dusseldorf.
Oh, I couldn't have been bothered with that. I'd just stayed at home.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, this is it.
So,
This is it. We should have stayed at home.
fair dues. At least you went.
Yeah, I didn't see any of the game. Apparently, played quite well. Apparently, Brett Pittman scored quite a few goals. I got no idea.
Still go for a nice place.
Talking
Not been
of quite nice, Mr. Moss, who won the tickets this week?
Yes.
Well, Tom Bradford won them and he couldn't make it
Oh.
because his mum's in hospital, unfortunately. So I've done a redraw, and a girl called Becky won them, and she's given to her neighbour Lisa and her daughter. So they'll be at the statue at 2:00 tomorrow. So more pictures on the socials, more happy fans. How many home games we had now, Matt, in the league? Is it 8 or 9?
It's got to be something like that, isn't it?
Yeah,
wish
we've
I'd
had
been about
nine different winners. We haven't had a double yet come out, which is good.
Right.
So yeah.
And how many this time? 30 odd, was it?
35 were in Wednesday's draw, and then the next one I'm going to do, I think because it's obviously Fleetwood's on the Friday, and then obviously the Peterborough game's an early kickoff because back to back. I'm going to do a double giveaway then. So if you enter the draw for that, you'll win 2 games.
Nice. You're going to be hitting 50 soon, I reckon.
Yeah, maybe Boxing Day when we play Oxford. But another big crowd tomorrow, guys. 25,000, I think.
Yeah.
Cheltenham W. So
Mostly sound
hopefully
fans.
it'll be rocking.
Yeah.
But we won't. Did you already speak about the North Stand? And you can't go downstairs if you're upstairs.
Yeah.
What did you think, Matt?
I don't care, to be honest.
He doesn't care. He's the people's champion, is our man.
But surely it's like when the stand was built, this should have been addressed then, because You get this all around the country, upper and lower tiers. You know, if you're in the upper tier, you obviously go in the upper tier, and then if you're in the lower. It's obviously two things. I reckon it's because it's obviously safety, because it's getting absolutely rammed down there, and obviously a lot of people are getting tickets upstairs and coming and sitting downstairs. So,
it's got to be on police advice. It's got to be, I would have thought, or stewards sending it back to the club or whatever. A combination of both. It'd be a safety thing. Absolutely, 100%. It will be a safety thing.
Yeah.
But then say that.
You want crowds. You want success on the pitch.
But
you
then say that, surely.
What's that?
They haven't said that though in their announcement speech, have they? They've said to make it easier.
Well, you think they're putting a little bit of a spin in now?
Well, I'm not saying. I'm asking. Like, if it's for safety, I don't know.
I'm told there because I've seen a lot of people. Obviously, Matt had been going in a certain gate number.
Yeah, but we're League One. It hasn't worked for you. I'm here to tell you it hasn't worked. I have not seen an FA Cup, a League Cup, a League, an UEFA Cup, a Champions League victory at Portland.
It's fantastic. I'll tell you what, everything the club do. I'll tell you what, everything the club do. People fucking whine, don't they? You know, we're second in the league and everything's going well on the pitch, but we're still moaning. Just fucking stay in the fan zone.
You can't criticise.
Stay in the
fan zone. I have a day off. That place is dead. It's like a morgue.
It's not dead. You don't even fucking go in there. So how would you know?
Martin's not been in there.
It's absolutely rammed in there, Gov. You know, this is the price of success. The price of success. I know Matt only wants sort of the people. When we went to the Barrow game, obviously we could get something to drink, you get something to eat. It was you could move around, but look, you're going to get this every single week. Obviously, people moaning about kickoffs now. If we got to the Premier League, you'll be kicking off many times at 3:00 on a Saturday, guys. So get in the real world.
That's a good point.
I don't mind that. I'm up for that. Yeah.
Martin's not been in the fan zone though since we did the first game back after lockdown, didn't we? In the fan zone, we got heckled.
I was in the fan zone a couple times in the summer.
Oh yeah, I'm talking real stuff.
I mean, real stuff. I was in the fan zone.
Things. The proper show.
Yeah, but I was in the fan zone with Neil and
Colin.
Was
there. The season. You came in one of the early games.
Hey,
didn't you?
When the sun is shining and the weather is fine, that fan zone is probably really good. But when it's sub-zero in January, do I want to be stood there? Really?
Yeah.
Like you need a big beer jacket on that day, didn't you?
You just want to be standing by a statue instead.
I do. Yes, a big umbrella though. A really big.
Might need that tomorrow. It's going to be really nice weather tomorrow, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, it's going to be mild.
I'll get my sun cream on. Lovely.
Them shorts out. Colin will be back in them shorts.
He certainly will. I want to talk to you about though, both of you really, but Rich particularly, is the ambassador roles for Mr. Holland and Mr. Milton. So there's another change or another improvement or another announcement they've made. Talk to me on that one.
See, I always thought when Simon left the club under Marcus Evans, he'd been there sort of over 30 years, and that said to me at that time, all is not well here because you've got someone here who's obviously played his career at Town, obviously come from Bury. Then he's gone into sort of that behind the scenes role. He'd done everything, didn't he? I think he was academy manager. You go to any events, he was on the mic. Yeah. And when he left, I thought, we've got problems here. This isn't good. So he's come back to the club now. Matt Holland's obviously, he's on the ITFC Foundation, Martin. And I think it's fantastic. You know, you've got ex-players here that have played a lot of games for Town. What did Matt Holland play? Over 300 games? You know?
Yeah.
I know we had a little bit of a joke on it, didn't we, when he was working for Charlton TV, Matt, when he was doing the game. But he said, I've got to earn a living. But I think it's fantastic that they're there and the club's on the up. And when you talk about Town and Matt Holland, everybody remembers, don't they, the Premier League years. Oh, yeah, Matt Holland was captain and it was the good times. And I think it can only be a good thing. You know, it can only be a good thing. I know you thought it was a little bit, the news come out yesterday about sort of obviously the North Stand and that the fans weren't happy. So then you're going to put a good news story out. But look, I think it's good. Simon's a really nice. He's a great guy. If you meet him, he was at Bracknell the other night. Matt Holland was in the crowd at Bracknell, you know, travelling all that way with his new glasses on. Looking great, wasn't he? With his new rims. So look, it's like Lee Brown says, Matt Holland's a legend. And he is. And so Simon Milton, you know, really good club people, guys, and they've got Ipswich Town at heart, and I think it's only a positive.
This is Martin's all-time favourite player at Town, isn't it? You locked yourself in your bedroom when he went to Cheltenham. Wouldn't come out.
Yeah,
Martin, your dinner's ready. I'm not eating. He's got to money.
Don't. Yeah, well, helped stop him getting to Villa, but I like to think I do. It did anyway. But yeah, one of my all time, if not the all-time favorite ever player, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
He certainly embodies that kind of those seasons in the Premier League and in Europe and all that kind of good stuff for the promotion season. Yeah, goes part and parcel, doesn't it?
They've obviously passed on a lot of sort of their time at the club to Mark Ashton when they've come in. The Americans coming over, and they probably leaned on them guys, for their knowledge. The area, the club, fans. Yeah. So look, I think Brett's going to be there tomorrow, I've heard, and I think he's Mark Detmer's going to be there tomorrow as well. So
yeah.
Look, it's great. And Matt Holland, I think Mark Tux was right there in the chat. He really should have been offered something a little bit sort of before now. But it was when the old regime was there. It was Did these people really like when Simon left the club? Did these people really want to be connected? Marcus Evans was there. It was sort of skeleton staff. We said it on here when we started the pod, didn't we? You didn't have them people in them key areas, and now it's you got that structure, haven't you, all the way through the club, and it's from the top to the bottom, and then and the fans have all bought into it, and now we just hope at the end of the season we get out of this league.
Yeah, a shadow of a doubt. I completely agree with that. Mike D says Holland, pound for pound, one of Town's best.
Yeah.
Fair comment. £20 from €20 from David Bergen. David Bergen? Is it David Bergen? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, David. Norman thought my favourite player was Aaron Drinan. How funny. How funny. Almost as funny as the one that Mike said earlier where he says govern his own cobbled zone. Electric blanket, Stephen Ward bar, bottle of water you can buy using Apple Pay. Absolutely. Yes, but doesn't cost the earth either. I don't want to actually be paying for the whole mining process of the water either. I just want to be paying for the, tap water. Just give me tap water. It's fine. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind. It's fine. Yes, pictures on Brett's social. Him and Detmer outside Portman Road.
Brilliant.
Detmer's rocking the old facial hair. Yeah.
That was a good episode when we interviewed Mark Detmer and Brett came round as a little cameo. Remember?
That was good. Sugar. Available to watch back if anyone's not actually seen it.
It's very funny interview.
Yeah. I pronounced it right. Good get in. Thank you very much, David. I reckon it's probably worth another super chat that to get it right. Anyway, Wes World Cup disappointment, heartbreak, whichever way you want to say it. I've not had either of your thoughts actually this week on it. So, Matt, thoughts on World Cup for Wes?
I mean, I'm divided on this, which I'm sure a lot of Town fans are, because as you know, Wes Burns been one of our favourite players. You want to see him go and represent the World Cup. I mean, but Wales haven't been in it since the 50s. Was that the last time they was in a World Cup? I think
so.
So what was it, Matt Ridge? 54.
It's 54, wasn't
it? Yeah, the Pele one. And so gutted for him because Wales being at a World Cup and the opportunity to actually represent your country comes around very rarely. So gutted for him from a Town point of view. Of course, we have to keep playing on through this ludicrous World Cup during the Western World's season. So it's good news for Town, but I'm torn. Good news for Town, but gutted for him, and I'm sure a lot of fans probably feel that way as well.
Rich, clearly this puts Wales as one of the favourites of the World Cup. I'd probably argue because they must have 26 Lionel Messi's, because to keep Wes Burns at home must mean you've got a really good squad.
Well, I'll speak to David and Mel, and it was like the noises they were hearing was they thought he was going to be in. But listen, I think as a kid, everyone growing up, they want to play for the country at the World Cup. And I know if he'd have gone, he might have been a sort of a sub. But
is that it for him now, Rich? Do you think? Sorry to cut in there.
Was he 27?
For him?
Yeah. I don't know. You look at the squad though, and you've joked about that. You've got Johnny Williams in there. He's playing in a lower division. You've got Chris Gunter in there. I know he's got 100 caps for Wales, but he can't even get a gig for AFC Wimbledon. And it's I don't know. They picked 26. If you can't make it, it's obviously 3 more than the normal 23, isn't it? He's obviously probably disappointed himself, but he's got to get his head right and get it back in the game for Town tomorrow, because I would have thought that he'll be in the starting 11, and he's just got to go out there and sort of he doesn't have to prove to anybody, I don't think, what a good player he is, because I think I'm a bit like you, Matt. It is divided because for him and his family, I'm pretty gutted. But then you think when you put your town hat on, we're going to have him and he's going to be playing for us. So, it is one of those. And you think Wales, I think it's 1958, as Nick Miller said there in the chat.
Oh, 58,
When's the next time they're going to qualify for a World Cup? I know the next World Cup, what is it? Is it 48 teams, Matt, it's going to be? So it's going to be even bigger than this one. So there's a good chance that he could be there in 4 years' time, but then he's 31, could have an injury. Then you don't know, No. It's one of them ones where you think, you hope that I hoped he got picked. I think we could have coped without him because I think we're only going to play 2 league games. In this
we were mentally preparing for that, weren't we? We were thinking, well, at least Carl Edwards has come good in that spell that we probably won't have Wes with us. But there'll be other opportunities for him, I think. Rich, you've got the Euros around the corner in a couple of years. Who knows where Town might be at that point? And if he's still with us, I hope he is. We might be on the up and he turns heads again. Yeah,
just get back out there, score some goals, get some assists, and then just when the Euros come around and the qualifiers and that, yourself in the frame for that, because I think it's like Emerson says there'll be a lot of Welsh players who will retire after the World Cup. Bale will be one. He's sort of on his last legs now. I don't think he's even that fit. They've even picked Joe Allen, guys. Joe Allen hasn't even played a minute this season for Swansea.
Well,
you think, it's
there's some curveball ones. I like Johnny Williams at Town, but what is he doing at Swindon that makes everyone think he must go to a World Cup? I mean, look, fair play to him. He done all right for us, but some curveball selections in absolutely, like people that haven't even played any minutes in league football. I mean, are you going to be prepared to go toe to toe with the top nations? I don't think so, but there you go. What do we know? We're fans.
Famous last words before they come up and play England. And
it's only Lincoln.
It's only Lincoln. We'll get into that bit in a minute. Don't worry about that one. But before we do, TB12 was mentioned today. Players responding well to the TB12 regime. I'm not going to ask you, the Tom Brady 12. So I'm not going to ask you what you think of that. What I'm instead going to ask both of you is, I want to know the last time you went on a diet or self-help or gave something up. How long did it last? And why did you give it up on giving up? That's what I want to know from both of you. It might have been a self-help book. It might have been giving up smoking, a diet, going for walks every day that lasted all of 3 minutes. Could be anything you want while you do. The thing they don't want to give up at home, it's, of course, the Marcus Stewart fundraiser from a Brady Beers. You've got 3 beers on tap. You won't want to give those up. Bundeslager, Marcus Brewitt, and IP1 A-Team. The Bath Civic Drive in Ipswich in 10:30 and 3. Get yourselves down there. You won't want to give it up.
I think there could be, maybe Terry Butcher might be showing up. Be showing.
He'll be pulling the old Butcher's bandage, presumably.
Well,
it's got to be.
If not, you'll be there.
I'll be there.
I'll be there about midday-ish. I'm going in tomorrow. I'm actually going to go in the shop and spend my team card points. Right.
Oh, yeah.
This is unbelievable. Matt Stannard, let's all have a little game in the chat. I think Matt's in the chat. How many team card points has Matt Stannard got? You will not guess.
4,212.
No, it's...
Off the back of the pack out PR?
In pounds. Well, he's been saving them up.
It's got to be about 200 quid, surely.
You are not far out on that.
So, yeah. What's he got?
Now look, Matt says he's got 180 quid.
Wow. I thought you had to spend all this, though. You got to spend the pack out PR one within a deadline, though. Is that right?
By the end of the season, these ones, because last year, do you remember last year, Gov, that it was like about 2 weeks after that game, wasn't it? And I remember going to the shop after the game. I can't remember who we played at home. And there was a massive queue outside, and you're trying to spend. The kids have got like 20 quid on there, and you try to look for something that's 20 quid because there's not a lot in there that's under 20 quid, I'll tell you.
So if you went post-crew?
It could have been that game,
yeah. So if you went to all 3 games on pack out PR, you got your 32. You got 32 quid.
32 quid.
You missed them, like I did, because one was on the telly and one went to midweek because of a Matchday. You only got 17 quid.
Paper fan.
Don't know.
Paper fans get shortchanged. What a surprise! What a surprise!
We've only been giving them the old for 20 odd years.
It doesn't count. It's where you are when they're good, Matt. We all know that.
Exactly.
Mike D stopped beer and sugar for 6 weeks, started swimming, lost 1.5 stone in 6 weeks. Look at that. Phenomenal. Parry gave up smoking last QPR, lasted about a year. That's all right. I mean, whatever makes you happy, Parry. It's a good effort. Yeah. Rich, any self-help giving up for you?
Really. Not really. I did try and start running once, but it's too painful.
So how long did that last?
Not very long. Not very long.
I
used to love it when I was at school. I used to be quite quick in the old 100 metres, and I took up the 1500, and I liked it. But I think as you get older,
you can't be bothered.
It gets painful. It does get painful. When you get a stitch and you think, fuck this.
Yep, you do. Yeah, you think, fuck this off for a laugh. I'm going to go for a pint. That's what I would do. That's why I'm going to die early.
A pint, or I had 5 the other night. It was great before the game at Bracknell. 5 pints in the bar. Nice all-day breakfast I had.
Very good, that. Colin had scampi. Matt had a burger, didn't he? Yeah.
Colin got told off. Did I tell you that? Colin got told off because we're all singing in there and we were banging the tables, and this bouncer came over and he put his hand on Colin's. He said, I don't mind you singing, but can you look after the furniture, please?
I didn't like Colin's improper fraction. You can't get 11 out of 10. It's an improper fraction. It's got to be 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah, how much was your dinner? 11 out. Well, that just shows you how tasty it was.
That's nonsense. It's not 110%. Have 100. You can't do it. No, I'm not. No, Matt.
About it.
I mean, I can't imagine you can. I imagine you're quite a strong-willed person. Yes. So when you say you're going to do something, you do
I don't really have any vices. I did do dry January one year though. Actually, just before the pandemic, I did that. Lizzie did it as well. She by January the 3rd, she was back on the booze. But I managed it. Once you get over this like week, 10 days hurdle, it's quite easy. You know what I mean?
Is it? I don't know. I've never done it.
Yeah.
You're quite disciplined, because you go boxing, don't you?
Yeah.
Quite disciplined. He goes to the gym. He's still got no bottle because he doesn't want to fight Richard Chandler, does he, go?
Well, no. Well, let's clarify this. I'm a lightweight. He's coming out light heavy. You're mental.
Oh,
here we go. I've also seen your chin take a right hand. So I
saw him dig in some body shots. Something. They
looked good, didn't you? He was a good little boxer. Jab.
Yeah.
He said he gave up drinking when he did the boxing. As soon as he stopped, that went out of the window.
Yeah, you'll get back on it. Look at Ricky Han. Used to blow up to about 14 stone. Just put 4 stone in.
Ricky Fan.
Where it come from, yeah.
Be kind. Poor Ricky.
No, that was his joke. That was his joke, Ricky Fan.
I know, but I can't say anyone's fat, can I? I mean, you've seen the size of me. I mean, diets are my thing. I'm always on a diet. Always on one, just never following one. So
yeah. I would not class you as fat, Ryan. I don't know where you get this from.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You're not fat.
It's not, is it?
That's probably the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Oh, thanks, Matt.
That's all right.
Gold star for you, mate.
Christmas present.
Oh, birthday present. That's the closest one.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about presents for the future. Loan watch. We've got a couple of players returning from loan. We've got 2 players out on loan. Which one excites you the most and why? Your loan options are Elkan Baggett, Corey and Darber, Ben Morris, Matt Healy, and Teti Yengi. Which one excites you for the future and why, Richard Moss?
Teti Yengi, did he get player of the year where he was?
Yeah.
Australia.
Perth, wasn't it?
No one's ever seen him, have they? Has anyone actually physically seen him?
I've seen a picture of him. I've never seen him play.
Yeah.
But, look, he's done well. Will he make the breakthrough at Town?
He could be someone who will benefit from the changeover of Cook into McKenna. They might see a bit of a diamond there they can work with. Well, remains to be seen, doesn't it? But you come back out as player of the year in Finland.
Look, I think your obvious one there is what Craig says from Portsmouth. It is Baggett.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But Gillingham have been struggling until the fantastic victory they had the other night when they went to Brentford and they turned them over. 21% possession, Matt, in that game and 1 shot on target, which was the equaliser, and they'd done them on pens, So he's obviously played there. Obviously went up against Ivan Toney the other night, which would have been good experience for him. I don't agree with Colin there, said he should never have gone out on loan. But
I wouldn't have sent him out either. That was my take as well. I wouldn't have sent him.
Where would he have fitted in at Town? Because he wouldn't have been playing.
Well, would you have needed to go and got Keogh, for example? I don't know. I mean, look, they're different ends of the spectrum of their careers, aren't they? Keogh's at the end, got the leadership, the experience, etc. Elkan coming through. But he's got to stick around at Town because look, we know they're all about marketability, and he's got it in bucket loads, hasn't he? So he's back in Town about. I think is he there at Gillingham all season, right? He can't come back in.
So, yeah.
No, yeah. Corey and Darber, Elkin Baggett, Matt. Which one is it? Is it Elkin again? Because Corey was Player of the Year at Salford. You forget that very quickly as football fans.
Player of the Year at Salford, yeah.
He had a great year last year.
He come back. I think the game I saw him come back when was the Palace one on Palace TV, and he didn't have a very good game in that.
But he was playing Premier League players.
Yeah, true. But you've only got a short window to impress. I didn't think Harper had a very good game in that either, and he got sent off to Exeter. But yeah, I mean, how many times can Corey keep going back on loan and then coming back to Town? Do you know what I mean? It feels like, I don't know, it feels like a killing time thing a little bit. But look, he seems to have all the potential and teams want to take him. I mean, he did well at Salford. Is he playing for...
I think he's been injured, Matt. I think he's been injured and he hasn't played that much there.
He's had a couple of injuries, yeah. He's only played a couple of games.
I saw him, Palace aside, we saw him in like the Papa John's and that last time he was in Town Blue. I thought he looked a good player, so we will see. Again, someone who's not had much time under McKenna could still thrive. Look at Wolfenden. We were saying getting gone. Now
Mike Durant's Yengi was on the dashboard. Hadmi was on the broken second-hand dashboard. A
bit harsh because he hadn't had much of an opportunity yet, has he? But
we know.
Yeah, he will. He's on the way back. He's not far away at all. Rich Chandler, Keogh is transitioning into a first-team coach, pointing for his experience. Whereas Mike said he's not been that impressed with Keogh. He's not going to lie.
No, I didn't think he looked good against Bracknell at all. Did you think he looked good against Bracknell? I didn't. He wanted too much time on the ball. He looked nervous on the ball. Look, I don't want to dig him out unnecessarily over just one game, but someone you think will be like a bit of a leader when you go to a very non-league team, well below the Football League. And I don't know, he looks shaky to me, but, is it is.
But it is what it is. Yeah, no, it's fair enough. I mean, not the only player who didn't look great at Bracknell. According to some that watched the game, Rich, Disco Dom didn't look the greatest. Do you think he'll start in midfield tomorrow? Would you? Because one of the questions I posed to the guys on Wednesday was, who's your midfield pairing? Is it Disco Dom and Morsey, or is it Morsey and Humphreys? Is it Kamara, who isn't that far away from returning?
Yeah, he is. If you listen to Kieran, he's still not ready to start. He's not going to be starting, and he's only really in the squad at the minute because obviously Lee Evans is out. I think he'd have been playing a few games to 23, so he'll be on the bench tomorrow.
He will be on the bench tomorrow.
When Don Paul came in, we were all raving about him. Played 100 games for QPR. He's not suddenly become a bad player overnight. I just think he's lacked. He hasn't played many games, has he? Because he got injured.
No.
Then he couldn't get back in the team, and then he was sat on the bench. So I thought he had a decent game at Cheltenham. The other night at Bracknell, he wasn't at his best, but he's had another sort of, what did he play? 70 minutes there. I'd expect him to start tomorrow. We've got a few injuries. If you listen to Kieran's interview, I think so. There's a few going to have fitness tests.
They are, yeah.
You could play Humphreys further forward, Martin. I was really impressed with him again the other night. I spoke to him after the game. We went round and I said to him, look, that's the ideal game for him the other night. He's learning, it's a learning curve every single time he goes on that field, and I think if it wasn't for Vincent Young probably getting 2 assists the other night, I think Humphreys would have been Town's man of the match. I thought he was excellent again. And he's pushing for a start. He definitely is. You're playing at home. I can understand why Ball played at Cheltenham. It wouldn't surprise me tomorrow if Humphreys was in the midfield there with Morsey. He's pushing for a start, and he's going to get better every time he plays, I think, that lad. And he's got a big future at Town. I really do.
Yeah, well, it's big future, Rich. Matt's already got him as captain of England winning the World Cup. That's just based on how he speaks, to be honest with you. But no, fair point. Just on the Kamara situation, Kieran had this to say in the press conference. I would consider him fully involved in that because of numbers. He's in matchday squads and he needs to be ready to play. How far away is he from full fitness and full confidence? I still think a little way, to be honest. So he's involved because of numbers. Obviously, a couple of injuries, some illnesses. But from starting possibly a little bit longer.
He also said, didn't he, about he's had no pre-season, Martin. He didn't play football for 5 months.
No,
so he's going to be a lot away behind the other ones. It's just a case of now let's get him up to speed. He might have a few minutes here and there, and probably after Christmas, I would have thought you'll probably see him sort of maybe starting some games. But I think at the minute it's look, you got another FA Cup game coming. We got the Papa John's draw tonight, so that's going to be another game where I think he'd probably be involved. Could start possibly, you know. So there's games there where you can get him involved, and he's a big player. I think moving forward for Town. Maybe not this season because obviously he hasn't had that pre-season. I think you'll see the best of him next season. I think.
I've just seen Paul P there saying, "Did Ball get injured at Bracknell? Who are the players that are getting fitness tests? Have we had any whispers?
Harness has been ill.
Tyrese John Jules.
John Jules missed out. I don't know. He's got a little something, but Kieran's not going to tell us. He's not going to give away any sort of real who's fit and who's not. Is he really?
Doesn't. No, that's
when's Greg Lee back? He can't be far away now. Greg Lee.
He's with Hadme, isn't he? He's not too far away, but they're nearing their return to the grass and back training with the group.
I like him. I think he's really good, Greg Lee. He's really unlucky, actually, Davis come in, because I think he probably would have been napped on as the starter, but I think he probably always came as the B option. But yeah, I like him. I think he's good, certainly off the bench to give you that last half hour.
He wouldn't play, would he? Like, really? He wouldn't. It's Leif Davis, sorry, is our best.
No, I'm saying he's unlucky. I think when he's played games, he's looked really good, but unfortunately, Leif Davis is the A side of that coin.
Yeah.
But
there is certain games when you probably could have, like at Cheltenham away, you know, Greg Lee would have been, because Davis struggled in his second half. You could have bought him on the last 20. He's good on that far post in the air.
Yeah.
So you need everyone fit. We need everybody fit coming up to Christmas. You know, all these games coming up. Hopefully, we're still involved in both cups. So there's going to be games for people to play in. So we need everybody fit, and it won't be long before Sonny Aluko's back as well, Martin.
Christmas. What a present that is. We've got Norman says EADT reported other players have caught Harness's illness. The draw, obviously, for the Papa Johns is after the championship game tonight. If we're still on, we'll bring it to you. If we're not, we'll bring it to you Sunday. Well, we'll talk about it on Sunday. The good Dr. Lee coming in to cover or take the latter minutes really works well with Davis. Was ideal having both of them. Talking about fullbacks, I did post a question midweek about the right back situation, Matt. Now, obviously, Janoy Donatian, he finally reached 100 games for Town. Wow. But even the Fisherman has floated the idea that perhaps Janoy needs a little bit of a break from the action. €10 from David. Thank you very much, David. We love you. We appreciate you. Keep it coming. Thank you. Would you be resting him for your man, double digits, KVY?
Yeah. Why does he need a break? For what reason?
Form drop off. I mean, stop goals coming on your back post or stop the crosses. I don't know. There's various different reasons you can formulate to say why our fullbacks, our centre halves, any number of positions aren't perhaps doing their job defensively. As I said Wednesday, you could do the same thing for the left side. Would you drop Davis? You wouldn't, obviously, without Lee being fit. But the right side, you've got options. You've got KVY for the left side. What do you think?
It's whether or not I'd use the terminology of a break. I think that's someone's sort of saying, I really like him. He's a bit shit at the moment. Get him rested. But I mean, look,
what term do you want? Dropped?
Well, dropped is probably the right thing. It's probably what it's a polite way of saying that, isn't it?
Well, I thought a break was more. You're looking a bit jaded. You have a break. Put your feet up.
Yeah. A break is a polite way of saying we don't want you playing.
Your form's been terrible. You dropped. There you go. That's get straight to the point.
I don't think Janoy's doing that badly. I mean, again, it's the same argument with Burns, isn't it? If I say he drops off a bit, he's not scoring goals, he's not getting the assists. And it's the same with Janoy. He played out of his skin last season, and what was he? Was he runner-up in Player of the Year? Could easily have been Player of the Year. Again, someone who's a victim of his own success. I'm just as surprised as anyone. He's still at the club, quite frankly, having come in during the Hurst era and loaned out twice. I mean, the writing looked on the wall for him, so fair play to him. But McKenna keeps picking him. You know, he likes rotating the squad around a bit, doesn't he? Certainly up top. But yeah, he seems to like him. I would expect him to play tomorrow. This is one of the ones that have got a fitness test or whatever. But yeah, I thought Kane done well the other night. He could slot into one of those roles potentially. But yeah, I just think Janoy is just a victim of his own success at the moment. Everyone remembers how good he was last season. And if he's not hitting those heights, well, so be it. If he needs a rest, then rest him. But I think he's doing all right personally. That's my take on it.
Oh, because there's a rest now, is it? I thought it was dropped a minute ago.
Well, I mean, take the Cheltenham game out aside, where we've conceded 4. We were hardly letting, we were clean sheet city, weren't we? So
Clean sheet city, yeah. I take it. I'm just here asking the questions. I'm not here giving you the answers. Rich,
did you know that JD is the only player who started every single league game under Kieran McKenna?
There you go. Speaks volumes, that, doesn't it? He don't get rotated out, does he?
He's not been terrible. I think people are over egging it, even like talking about George Edmondson. You'd think they're having an absolute shit time, and they're not. You know,
not second.
Yeah. He'll keep his place tomorrow. I'd be amazed if Vincent Young starts at right back tomorrow. I think look, Vincent Young he's a good squad player. I don't think you'll ever see him back to what he was when he first came in, guys. No. Vincent Young. He surprised me a little bit this season because I thought he might sort of be on his way out, and he's proved that there is games for him there, but I don't think he'll be a regular starter, Martin. I honestly don't. You know, I think he's a squad player at best now. He might play the odd game here and there. Look, JD, Wes Burns, they were ripping it up last season. It was all down that side, but we're more of a team this season. You know, that they've dropped off a little bit. If you look at Burns, what has he scored? 3 goals. He's got 4 assists. You know, if he keeps that throughout the season, he's still going to return good numbers at the end of the season. So I think sometimes we have to realise where we are, what league we're in. The JD, people saying in the chat there, would he play in the Championship? We're not even in the Championship there. That's not the conversation. But let's get out of this league first, and then we can assess where we are and what players stay and what players go and whatever we need. But Danassian's more than good enough to play in this league. You know, the record speaks for himself. If he's been playing every single game and starting every single game since McKenna's been here, what does that say? Kieran rates him. He knows what he can do. He trusts him. So
I never get that. I never get why people say, well, you know, he's doing all right, Danassian, but when he playing the champ, it doesn't matter. As you say, Rich, we're not there. His role is to get us out of this division and keep clean sheets. And so far, he's done that quite successfully, I think, other than the Valley.
Okay. I'm happy. Yeah. Well,
it's a little bit of a different role as well, isn't it? Because we have been playing a 4 at the back. People say it's a 3. It's not. It's a 4, isn't it? So
it's 11 blokes on a pitch. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. You'd say, is there any real formation? You know, we're quite fluid how we play. So
this is chaos.
I'm the sub manager. You would have got exactly what you would have asked. Do they know what they're doing? What a way to put that. Yeah, it was quite good, Rich. I like that. It was inadvertently a Lambertism. That was.
Well, that's what Jimmy Graves said. He said football tactics is organised chaos. That's what it is. Yeah.
Got some point, but you're right. I think that's probably why Janai's been picked the most. He offers that fluidity that you can play right back, centre back, right centre back. You can, he offers that in game flexibility. But you start with a 4, you go to a 3, you go out to a 4.
What did he get last season? Did he get 4 assists? I think Danassian.
Yeah, I think so.
He still gets a bit of a nosebleed, doesn't he? When he gets midway in the opposition half, he does a little. He has improved.
That was over-egged, I feel.
He's keen to do it, isn't it? He's fair play to him. He does. I don't think he's.
Colin, there is no link tonight. Colin, there is no link. Wait till Sunday.
Or tomorrow. You're on the show live tomorrow from the statue, Colin. You can say what you need to say then at the feet of the great man.
I mean, look, Danassian does get into those positions, and at least he takes that risk. I don't think he's particularly got a great delivery, but how many assists did Selena get last season? 6, 7, 8?
Not enough.
And everyone's going, that was a great return. And here you are talking about Danassian and Burns and all that with assists, and they ain't that far off what he had. So,
yeah. Mike D says it's like the press teams have pressed since football started. You mean there's no low block, no high block, no off ball, on ball? I saw that today. Off ball player, and I was thinking, what the fuck is an off ball player?
We used to call the press pressure them, get stuck into them. That's what we used to call it. Get in their faces, yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Give them nothing. Give them no time to breathe.
Like in their faces. Did you see the Boca Juniors game in a week, Gov?
Yes,
was there 10 sendings off in that game, Matt?
Might be 11.
You did send it through. You did.
Yeah, all in the tunnel, wasn't it? Was it all in the tunnel?
Oh, it was chaos towards the end of the game. I think it was the cup final. They lost, didn't they? 2-1 at home or wherever they played. But yeah, I think they had 6 off. It reminded me of the game when Sheffield United played West Brom. Do you remember the Battle of Bramall Lane? George Santos. George Santos. He starred for town, didn't he? I mean, what a great tackle that is in Andy Johnson.
We've had Argentinian football on here before, haven't we? Like video of them all rioting in the dressing rooms and that. Does get lively. Does get lively over there.
Or somewhere else, and they're doing penalties.
I remember when we got Sky at home when I was younger, and we do you remember Screen Sport?
I do.
It was
Screen Sport,
they always used to have on Friday afternoon Argentinian football on there. It was chaos, absolute chaos.
That's a blast from the past. Screen Sport, yeah.
I don't think it's the same Andy Johnson Ben as you're thinking.
No, this is the long-haired Andy Johnson, yeah.
This ain't the Crystal Palace.
Birmingham City kid.
Andy Johnson. Ooh, good player.
As well, though.
Yeah, very good player. Just slightly less hair. Richard Chandler, Davis has 5 assists from left, and we got none from there last season. Big changes. Teams double up the left side and freeze up the right.
Good point, yeah.
It's a good point, but that should mean our right side's getting more assists and more goals. But
hopefully you see it tomorrow.
Hopefully you do. Yes. On tomorrow, McKenna said, I don't think their at Cheltenham strategy is going to veer too far away from what Lincoln's strategy was on the day, and that's something we need to be ready for, and everyone at the game needs to be ready for. And obviously, we lost that game 1-0 against the mighty powerhouses of Lincoln City. Never doubted them ever in my life.
No, that's all.
You find the clip, I'll tell you you're a liar.
You'll see Martin there going, this could be big trouble, this game against Lincoln.
That is fake news. Me saying it's only Lincoln is fake news by fake Twitter Blue accounts, which, by the way, has already been dropped. So, Rich, you're too late. You can't spend $6.99.
Gone already.
It's gone already. Here today, gone tomorrow. Stack them high, sell them cheap. What can we take out from the Lincoln game? What learning curves? That's a big word. What experiences can we take out of the Lincoln game to bring into tomorrow, Rich?
Look, if you look at that game, what did we have? 34, 33 attempts on goal?
Yep.
Look, if you're playing 10 other games and you have that amount of chances, the law of averages, you're going to convert 1 or 2, aren't you? It was one of them games where we give a slack goal away. I agree with that, Mike. The defending was poor on that goal. And then we sort of we didn't batter them, did we? We had a lot of possession. We didn't really work their goal. That's the thing, Gov. Working the goalkeeper. You can have that many amount of shots or chances, but we didn't hit the target enough that day, did we, really? But
no.
I think tomorrow it's Mike D says get an early goal. You know, they're going to come and set the stall out, Cheltenham. If it's 0-0 after 25 minutes, half an hour, they're probably thinking, yeah, we're in the game here. If we score early, completely different mindset. You know, it makes it easier for players, fans, because we'll sit there and if it's half an hour gone 0-0, you're getting a bit, a little bit edgy. Gets to half time 0-0. Score an early goal, take the game by the scruff of the neck, and make it a comfortable afternoon.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of your keys to the victory tomorrow, isn't it? By we'll get to that in a second, but that is a little foreshadowing you've done there. I like that. Well done. You're learning this game, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I would
because does tomorrow need to be a statement win? Do you think? Take the 33 shots from Lincoln, but actually work the goalkeeper a lot more and deliver a statement game.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I don't think. Look, Wade Elliott is the Cheltenham manager. He's on really thin ice at the moment, I'm told, by a few people that know him.
My pedigree chum.
And interesting stat about Wade Elliott. Here we go. He only ever played for teams.
Fred's son?
Huh?
Is he Fred's son?
No, Fred Elliott.
I say, Ashley. I say.
Coronation Street gag, everybody. He only ever played for teams that began with B: Bashley, Bournemouth, Burnley, Birmingham City, Bristol City. There we go. So he should have managed the team with B. He'd be far better off. But I think it's got to be because the cup game in the week was a nice little interval to the league, and we've still got the shadow of the 2 goals drops in injury time at Charlton to get over. I think in a league context. So Cheltenham are in big trouble. Wade Elliott's not doing very well over there. I think it's got to be a statement win. I do feel if it is a statement win tomorrow, as people were saying to me, Wade Elliott could be Wade Elliott's last game. So that shows you the pressure he's under, and it needs to be clinical and drive that screw. Yeah, it's got to be a big win tomorrow. Absolutely. So to just for us to get over the hurdle that was Charlton.
Yeah, absolutely. That still lingers in fans' minds. Let's see what they can deliver
Well,
tomorrow.
we're talking about lessons learnt from Lincoln.
Hmm.
We still keep conceding the same kind of goals, don't we? That ball into the far post or a free kick delivery and we concede. And, it was the same against Lincoln and it was the same against Cheltenham. So it's all very well as saying, what have we learned from that game? But can we actually replicate it in a league game? We said, didn't we, Rich, after the Cheltenham game, or whatever game it was, Lincoln game, it's very hard to replicate stuff on the training ground of learnings.
Yeah.
25,000 people. You try it. Difficult, I would imagine. So we'll just have to hope for the best. But I think Cheltenham's good opposition tomorrow to get over that the shadow that is Cheltenham in those 2 goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm still milking that, by the way, on their social.
I think they probably are.
It's still going. Yeah.
I hope one of the things we've learned is
the DVD of that game. Surely they'll have that after Christmas.
Yeah, probably available tomorrow.
Open top tour bus is going next week. I've heard rumored. One thing I'd say, I hope we've learned is that we, give Caden Jackson longer than 13 minutes. That's what I hope we've learned from the Lincoln debacle, because Caden Jackson's got pace, and these teams that dig in and have 2 banks of 4, you need fast players to get in and around, cause a free kick, cause a penalty, cause a mistake. Is it the game for your intricate players? Is it a game for your as Matt Stannard said there, your 700 touches before you have a shot type players? I don't know. That's what I want to.
Yeah, they were difficult. I mean, look, fair play to Lincoln. They were difficult to break down that day, weren't they? They did defend really well. Sometimes you just got to take it out of them. For 90 minutes, they did the job that was required.
That's me.
Jackson's agent again.
That's me. I've seen Mike in the chat. I just want to bring Jackson into it just to see if Mike was still listening. Keep him awake over there. Keep him awake. Yeah. Before we get to the keys to victory from both of you, we've got the jukeboxes, and I want to ask you about your quick 30 seconds summary of the England squad announcement. But before then, let's do the jukebox. Let's get the poll going. Rich, I don't know what these songs are at home, so this is going to be brand new to me. I'm looking forward to hearing what these two got this week.
So who are we playing tomorrow?
Cheltenham.
What's Cheltenham synonymous with, Matt?
Boat racing.
No, come on.
Horse racing.
Exactly. So you were saying we've got to get over that hurdle, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Liking it.
So
I'm keeping this theme going. So I've gone back to 1972. Colin will probably know this song. He's probably got it on his iPod. Has he got an iPod? Maybe.
He's record player.
It's the Osmonds.
Wow.
Osmonds.
With Crazy Horses.
Oh, Crazy Horses.
It is Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse, the mascot. Yeah.
It's a tune. Crazy Horses by the Osmonds, yes. I thought you were going to go with Puppy Love. And they called it Puppy Love.
You should do a duet, Martin. That's quite.
We should actually.
That singing, Alex Griffin. Big up the Glasgow Griff. He's bringing out a song.
Is he?
Yes.
He's out of the way. Good luck with
that. He's got a studio booked somewhere in Essex. So,
is he writing the theme tune, singing the theme tune?
Christmas telly?
Yes.
So bring it out. That can soon come out.
I have to find out what that is.
Are you more of a Donny or a Jimmy Osmond?
I'm not really into the Osmonds, to be honest, other than the hits. So I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you the difference.
Was it Jimmy on I'm a Celebrity? Russell Osman.
Yeah, he was the best one.
Well played. But I think Jimmy was on I'm a Celebrity. I'm sure of it. I'm sure he was on it. That's where I know him from. That's right.
Yeah, I think he was on there.
Matt, you've got Crazy Horses up against you. Convince the public at home why they should vote your song into the Talking Town Jukebox.
Yeah. So I went to V Festival in 2006 and saw Primal Scream. So this is in Chelmsford, and they come on and jokingly went, "Hello, Cheltenham." So I'm going with Primal Scream, moving on up, because that's where we are, moving on up. What a tune off Screamadelica. I know Mike D's going to vote for that one. Far better song than the Osmonds. Far cooler. Yeah, Primal Scream. Yeah, hello, Cheltenham, they said.
Hello, Cheltenham.
Yeah.
I've never heard that song before. I'll have to look it up.
You've not heard that song before? Are you kidding me?
Is it the one? See, I don't know. I'm
moving on up now.
Joe, if it was sung in key, I reckon I'd probably know it.
That was good. Well,
that was quite awful. No wonder you're sat here, not touring the world. No wonder. I
wouldn't want to tour the world anyway. Too much hassle.
No, it's far too. Yeah, far too many airports and people for you, isn't there?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You can't do
Would annoy me.
27,000 at town, let alone.
Exactly. Yeah. Give me bring back Oldham, the 8,000.
Right, England. Rich, 30 seconds. Your thoughts on the England World Cups? Go.
Was there any surprises for you in that squad?
Madison?
Not really. Who?
Madison? He went for Madison. That's the surprise, isn't it? He actually went for him.
I love the picture he put out, James Madison, when I think his teacher said it's a 1 in a million chance of being a footballer. And he said, I'm the one. And, he put a picture out yesterday when he was a young kid with his face painted as with a St. George's cross. Look, Conor Gallagher, I agree, Mike D. He's probably a bit of a curveball. I would have picked Ivan Toney. I don't know if he's obviously left him out because his betting sort of troubles that he's got going on. I don't know, but look, am I excited that there's a World Cup coming? Probably not. I'm probably like a lot of people. But I think once it starts, look, we'll all be dining out on 3 games a day, Gov. We'll be watching it. We'll be covering some games on here, and just hope England go there and give a good account of themselves. Will they win the World Cup? I don't think they will. I think there's better teams than us. But I just think, I hope we go there and play with a handbrake off, because we've got a lot of good attacking players. But I think ultimately our Achilles heel will be our defence. That'll cost us when we play against better teams.
Okay. Matt, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I barely looked at the squad, to be honest with you, other than what Rich was sending to me. At the moment, I can't get into it because I'm all in on the bread and butter, which is town, because we have to play for it. So I'm all in on that. And if you said to me, England to win the World Cup, we switch to go up as champions, town as champions all day long. I don't care if England was to win the World Cup. But I was surprised that Tomori didn't get in, the AC Milan kid. I thought he was a good player. I thought he might have got in. I thought Tony might have got in, but what Rich just said is a good point.
Yeah, people going about Tomori without probably a lot of people don't even watch Italian football. It's just because Milan won the league and they think, oh, we've got an English player playing over there.
You see, I can't comment because I haven't got a clue who Tomori is. I haven't got a clue really who Abraham is, unless I've seen him at Portman Road for Bristol City scoring a goal at the back post, right? That's how I know him. So I can't sit here and say, oh, why isn't this player going? Why isn't that player going? What I would say is, though, when Gareth Southgate says Abraham isn't going because he's had an issue in front of goal at the wrong time, Harry Maguire has had an issue defending for a long time.
Yeah.
Why is he still going? If we're going to weigh up our strikers on the ability in front of goal, shouldn't our defenders?
The thing with Southgate is that he's loyal, and that's why he picks Maguire.
Oh, so is he?
Sterling.
Is he the English Johnny Williams?
But he's never let England down. Maguire's never let England down when he's played. He hasn't. So
I'm not saying he has. No.
And that might come back to bite Southgate on the backside if he might be a bit too loyal. And look, I like Harry Maguire. He's had a tough time at United. He for me suffers that, like all centre halves nowadays, they all have to be footballers. Harry Maguire isn't a footballer. He can edit, he can kick it, he can block it. Slab head. That's what they call him. Stick your head on it. Do the simple things. And but the proof will be in the pudding, and we'll see.
I'd imagine this would be Southgate's last hurrah anyway, I would have thought.
Depends how he does.
Well, yeah. I mean, they tend to come in these cycles. It tends to be out after a tournament, doesn't it? So I would imagine, Euros final, however they do here. And I reckon someone else will come. Who that would be, I've got no bloody idea.
Well, problem is, Eddie Howe has now got probably one of the best jobs in English football in the sense of, Newcastle have got such vast resources. Yeah. If you can get it right, which he's doing at the moment, why would you ever want to leave there? Because you've got the world on a string, let's be honest, coming your way. Whereas before, perhaps you could have gotten a young Eddie Howe, into
You're
the
right
job.
What you said, Dov. You said this before about England managers and coaches. I think back in the day, it was probably the pinnacle of your career. You wanted to manage England. Yeah. And I don't think it is now. I think your club football beats international football. It does, doesn't it?
That's every country, isn't it? Because if you look at the major competitions in the world, everybody wants the Champions League or the respective league in their own country. International football is now seen as it's international weekend. It's no longer takes the stage. It's no longer the big thing. It's no longer the pinnacle. Like, in the 1990s, Alex Ferguson, could he one day manage England? That conversation now would be stupid. You'd go, why would he want to manage England? Whereas back then it was a big thing of could he, would he want it if he was offered it? Could we offer it to him? Because that was the pinnacle. That isn't the pinnacle anymore.
Ferguson managed Scotland, of course, at the '86 World Cup after Jock Stein passed away.
Okay.
He stepped
Mexico.
in, didn't he? Yeah,
There you
Mexico.
go. But-
Yeah, good point. Though. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah.
Because of
What's
the
your favourite
TV
World Cup?
coverage.
What's your favourite World Cup, you two? Quickly.
02.
Probably 82. I thought the last World Cup was good, actually, in 2018. I thought that was a good tournament. But yeah, 82 probably, because it's the first one I can remember.
I liked obviously Italian 90. I think
Really
that's
good.
probably
Really
up
good.
there.
Yeah.
I like USA. The next World Cup is it USA, Mexico, Canada.
Canada, yeah.
I always like the Diana Ross penalty.
Germany, Bolivia, opening game. Yeah.
Boncho was there. Boncho was playing for Bulgaria, wasn't he? They done well.
Yeah, good that team. Very good team. That was
the funny
cool.
thing,
Yeah.
that 1980 World Cup is 9 years before a hit sensation Pump Up the Jam by Technotronic was released, you know? It's a good 9 years before that.
Oh, okay.
Just to let you know.
Just let us know. Thank you very
Just
much.
to let you
Ryan.
know.
Yeah.
To let you know. That's how we gauge time in the world these days. When was it in relation?
No Primal Scream. I don't get it.
It's a joke. You've got to watch Philomena Kunk to get
right.
that joke. It's a very good
I'll
joke.
you, Clive, 2002. If you're a fan of football, we all remember '98, the final when the Ronaldo, R9, he was playing, then he wasn't playing, then he was playing, and then he come back, didn't he, in 2002, and obviously he had the great haircut, didn't he, Matt?
God, that was awful.
I like 98 to be fair. 98 is one I do have good memories of.
France?
Beckham's free kick against Colombia. When
Michael Owen goal? Yeah.
Sol Campbell's goal against Argentina, everyone's celebrating, and it's just
Should be
allowed.
Still don't know why it's not been ruled
Yes,
in.
goal.
Fair. It is a goal every day of the week, except the one it was playing on. But there we go. Moving it on. Keys to victory tomorrow. Matt, your key to victory, please.
Well, my keys are kind of what we went through earlier, really.
All right, well, don't worry about them. Rich, your key to victory then, please.
We sort of went through it earlier, but my key to victory is on the horse racing theme. Quick out the starting stalls. This is what we want to do. We're straight out the starting stalls. First 15, 20 minutes, get a couple of goals.
Which we didn't do against Cheltenham last season, wasn't it? That was the 0-0 and
0-0. So 1 point, didn't we, against them last season? 1 point from 2 games.
Yeah. They don't have that guy anymore, do they? Tozer. They don't have the set piece threat anymore that he used to bring.
The missile throw.
Yeah, that was good. That we'll find out.
Alfie May's been injured as well, so he's probably their talisman. I think he played he come on for 20 minutes against Alva Church. So yeah, get a couple of early goals and take them to the cleaners. Someone is going to take a bit of a hiding from town very soon. And
it's the worst time. It's the worst time in it, Rich, for Cheltenham. They're coming off the back of losing to a Southern League side and coming to Portman Road in front of almost 30,000 people. So we've got to strike.
Football is a funny game. It's a funny game.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying it this time. I'm not saying it. I'm resisting the urge, even though Cheltenham are several places lower, several points less.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tempt the universe into slapping me in the face like it did last time.
It did.
It's fine. I've seen the results of comments like that, so I'm just going to say it's going to be a tough game tomorrow. If you had to do a score, I'd ask you a score tomorrow on the show to let you know about your jukebox. It's been back and forth. It's gone one way, it's gone the other. It's gone this way, then that way. But it's going to finish 53 to 47% in favour of Matthew Phillips.
Oh, he's got to win. He can stop running now.
Oh, better, isn't
it? I never win.
Primal fans. All the Screamadelica fans out there. Well done.
I'm going to have to look it up now and stick it in, along with your two choices from previous weeks, Rich. I know. Don't moan at me. It's fine. I'm on it. Can
we just mention tomorrow? Obviously, they announced it this morning, the club. 53 minutes. We're applauding for Martin Swallow. If you're at the game, stand up on your feet and clap.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And don't forget Away Day Beers. The bar. Is it the bar? Christ, I've only said it about 8 times. Civic Drive, 10:30 to 3 p.m.
The Baths, it's called.
The Baths.
Emotional day tomorrow because obviously we'll have the last post will be played. They'll have a minute's silence. I think they're all wearing poppies on the shirts because that's town's designated game.
Yeah.
That always gets me, the last post, guys. When they play that on that trumpet, it always sort of gets in here. And they will have that that lovely flag, don't they? In the north stand, they normally break
really
down
good.
from the top tier.
Yeah. Excellent.
So.
Yeah, it will be an emotional day. Hopefully with the right result at the end of it. We're live tomorrow at 2 p.m. from the Sir Ralph Ramsey statue. But until then, that's the Media Mogul. He's worked for the FA. He won't tell you. He's too modest, but he's worked for the FA. This is the cruncher, Richard Moss. He drives a tractor, the definition of a tractor boy. And we'll see you all tomorrow.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. Oh, yes, lover. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Oh, yes, lover. Oh, yes, lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat. Chills running down my neck. I felt went crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair.